Grady's 80s. It's Grady's 80s, and we're heading to the phone with Wesley from The Princess Bride. It's Carey Elwes. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I am wonderful. Now, we're here to talk about your book called As You Wish, Inconceivable Tales of the Making of the Princess Bride. So give us a tale that we don't know about The Princess Bride.
Gosh, there are so many. Well, for instance, few people know that I broke my toe on Andre the Giant's all-terrain vehicle after being endlessly goaded by him to play around on it. He kept telling me how much fun it was. And I very stupidly decided to not turn down the Giant's request and got on this thing I had no business getting on and broke my left big toe immediately, within seconds of riding it. And that was the first week of filming, so I thought I was going to be fired because I could barely walk. And I thought, well, how am I going to sword fight with a broken toe? But when you read the book, you'll find how I managed to get around all that, and how wonderful Rob was about the whole thing.
And speaking
director Rob Reiner.
And speaking of the sword fight, how long did you guys work on that? That's perfect.
Oh gosh, it seemed like every day. Well, we did work every day on it. We worked for about a month before shooting, and then while we were filming, our sword trainers had our swords in their hands, and they was just standing right off camera. And the minute Rob yelled cut, they would grab Mandy and I, and we would train. And so it seemed like the most incredible fitness regimen I'd ever been on. And obviously, after I broke my toe, I had to sort of focus on just the arm work. But yeah, I think by the end of it, we were very proficient. We'd learnt each other's parts as well. Our trainers, who were wonderful, Bob Anderson, who was an Olympic fencer, and Peter Diamond, they were the guys who did all the lightsaber sequences for George Lucas on the first 3 Star Wars films. So they were magnificent sword masters. And they made us learn each other's parts as well, so that they said that was the best way to avoid an accident. So we were quite proficient by the end.
All right, and we're going to talk about Andre the Giant when we come back, so keep it right here on Grady's 80s. Grady's 80s, and we are back with Carey Elwes from The Princess Bride. Now, probably the question you get the most is, what is it like to work with Andre the Giant?
Yes, that is one of the most asked questions I get, and I always tell people he was a real gentle giant. He would give you the shirt off his back. It would be enough for 5 people, like a tent, but he would still give it to you. He was just the sweetest guy.
Now we're going to get back to the music here in a second. What is your favorite 80s tune, Carey?
Oh, my gosh. Well, let's see now. When I was working on the film, Rob Reiner told us that we were going to have an incredible soundtrack on this film, that Mark Knopfler was going to do the music. And so I immediately went out and bought the Dire Straits album. I think it's called Brothers in Arms, I think. And I listened to that non-stop while we were making the film, because I was just so excited at the idea that Mark Knopfler was doing our music that I just got obsessed with that album. So yeah, I for 80s songs, I guess I would say, yeah, Brothers in Arms. That particular song was really one that stuck in my head.
All right, well then here's Brother in Arms on Grady's 80s. And we're back. It's Grady's 80s, and we're talking with Carey Elwes about his new book, As You Wish, Inconceivable Tales of the Making of the Princess Bride. So my question to you is, when you were mostly dead, how did you lay so still with Billy Crystal doing his thing right above you?
Well, I didn't, and that was the problem. Billy, once he finished getting into makeup, decided to stay in character as Miracle Max. He even went to the studio commissary as Max, took a tray, walked down the line, and asked the poor young lady behind the counter if the chili was spicy before he ordered it, and she said not particularly, and he said to her, "Well, you don't know my colon," like that. he then proceeded to arrive on the set as Miracle Max, and as soon as Rob yelled, action, he launched into, 3 hours of medieval Yiddish stand-up, which ruined everybody. Rob, who has a unique laugh it's very loud, had to be removed from the set, and they put the video village up on the hallway outside the soundstage. And then I was supposed to be playing dead, and of course, Billy knew exactly how to get rid of me and started telling some more jokes that I can't mention because a lot of them were very blue. And I was then removed and replaced with my foam rubber dummy that the Fezzik carried around. And Billy was left with Mandy and Andre on the set. And Andre, God bless him, who could barely understand English anyway, but definitely found Billy amusing. But Mandy said he bruised a rib trying to hold in a laugh. He said it's the only injury he got on the film. So that was I can't remember a single day without laughter on that set.
That's incredible. All right, Carey, where can we get the book As You Wish, Inconceivable Tales of the Making of the Princess Bride?
Well, you can go to asyouwishbook.com, or you can go to any of the major online book retailers or any of the actual stores, Barnes & Noble, etc., and you will find the paperback right now available.
And you can also find links to that on the Grady's 80s Facebook page, as well as a picture of me and Carey when we met at Phoenix Comic-Con. That's up there on the Grady's 80s page as well. All right, before we go, I have to get the famous words from you.
Sure. What, you want me to say those words?
I do.
Okay. Grady Butler, As You Wish.